Hey guys, Miss Marian here. Welcome to Unit 4, Notes 4. We are going to divide monomials today. So yesterday we did multiplying with monomials. Today is dividing. So what you're going to see is the operation that you're going to be using is division. And to do that, we divide the coefficients or the big numbers, and we subtract the exponents or the little numbers. And there's a little trick to the subtraction. It's always bigger minus smaller, and it goes where the smaller one was. Okay, so divide the big numbers. So this is our big numbers. We divide the big numbers, and then we subtract the exponents. Okay, those are our small numbers. And with that one, it's always bigger minus smaller. Okay, so bigger minus smaller, and it goes where the bigger one was. So goes where bigger started. Okay, that's going to be extremely important for you to remember. Okay, bigger minus smaller, it goes where the bigger one started. So let's look at a couple examples here. Number one, since we're dividing, I see this division bar here that tells me I'm going to divide. We're going to look at the coefficients, the big numbers. So I have a 5 on the top and a 1 on the bottom. Okay, if there isn't anything there, it's an imaginary 1. So 5 divided by 1 is still going to give me 5 because we divide the big numbers. Now, with the x's, you're always going to do bigger minus smaller. So I'm going to do x to the 4 minus 2 because 4 is bigger than 2. So that's going to give me x squared. And since the 4 was on top, the x squared that I got is going to be on top. Okay, same with the y's. I'm going to do bigger minus smaller. Well, if there isn't a number there, it's an imaginary 1. So I'm going to do y to the 3 minus 1, which is going to give me y to the 2. And the bigger number was on top, so it's going to stay on the top. So you could write a 1 underneath as a placeholder, or you could have just left it as 5x squared y squared. Okay, either one is telling me that it's on top of the fraction. Let's look at number 2. Divide your numbers. Well, if I do 3 divided by 9, I'm going to get a decimal point. And we cannot have decimal points here, so you're going to leave it as a fraction, and you're just going to divide what you know out of them. So I can divide both by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is going to give me 1 on top. 9 divided by 3 is going to give me 3 on the bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to deal with my exponents. Well, my a's, I have an a to the 4 on top and an a to the 5 on bottom. I'm going to do bigger minus smaller, so that's going to give me a to the 1. And it's going to go where the bigger one was. So the bigger one was on the bottom, so it's going to go on the bottom. Similar situation with my b's. I have a b to the 7th on top and a b to the 3rd on bottom. I'm going to do bigger minus smaller, so I'm going to get b to the 4th. And it's going to go where the bigger number started, where the bigger number started on top, so that's going to go on the top. I only have one of my A's and one of my B's left, so I'm done. I'm ready to go on to the next one. Number 3, we are dividing. 15 divided by 6 is going to give me a decimal, so I'm going to take a 3 out of both of those. I know both of those can be divided by 3. Okay, so if I do that division, 15 divided by 3 is going to give me 5. 6 divided by 3 is going to give me 2. So now I'm going to deal with my variables. I'm going to do my x's first. I have an x to the 5th and an x third. So I have an x to the 5 minus 3, which is going to give me x squared, and it's going to go where the bigger number was, which was on top. I'm going to deal with my y's next. So I have a y to the 2 on top and a y to the 2 on bottom. So 2 minus 2 is going to give me y to the 0, which, remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. So it's kind of gone. I don't have to put it anywhere. Now dealing with my z's. I have a z to the 1 on top and a z to the 7 on the bottom. So I'm going to do 7 minus 1, which is going to give me z to the 6. And the bigger number started on the bottom, so that's going to be on the bottom. All right, last example here. I know that I'm dividing, so I need to divide the big numbers, subtract the little numbers. So if I do 7 divided by 28, I'm going to get decimal. Don't want decimals. I know both of these are divisible by 7, though, so we're going to divide both of them by 7. So 7 divided by 7 is going to give me 1. 28 divided by 7 is going to give me 4. I'm going to deal with my A's. I have an A to the 2 on top and an A to the 6 on bottom. You always do bigger minus smaller, no matter where they are. Just giving me A to the 4th. And since the bigger number started on the bottom, it's going to go on the bottom. I'm going to deal with my B's now. I have a B to the 4th on top and a B to the 1 on bottom. So B to the 4 minus 1 is going to give me B to the 3rd. Bigger number was on top, so I'm going to b to the 3rd on top. Deal with your c's, c to the 7, c to the 5th. So I'm going to do 7 minus 5. It's going to give me c squared. And the big number was on top, so it's going to stay on top. That's our assignment for today. If you have any questions, come chat with me. Otherwise, good luck on those problems.